A Bangladesh Member of Parliament travels to India on May 12th for his medical treatment in Kolkata. And when he was leaving for his doctor's appointment on May 13th, he informed that he would be back for dinner, but he never returned. And upon investigation, it was found that he was brutally murdered. His body was chopped off and disposed. This is what happened with Bangladesh's Awami League Member of Parliament, Mohammad Anwarul Azim Anar. There are many questions that need to be answered regarding this murder case. Why was he killed? Who was behind this killing? And what is the bigger problem that this particular murder case is pointing at for India, which is illegal immigration? We are going to answer all of these questions in this video here. So Mohammad Anwarul Azim Anar actually traveled to India on May 12th for his medical treatment, where he stayed in Kolkata at a friend's place. This friend was Gopal Biswas. And the next day, on 13th of May, he informed his friend that he was going for a doctor's appointment and that he would be back for dinner, but he never returned. And although Gopal Biswas has said that they were digitally communicating with each other up until 17th of May, they lost all contact on 17th of May, which prompted Gopal Biswas to file a missing report at the police station. So, both the police authorities of Dhaka as well as Kolkata, they got active and started investigating this case. And even the crime investigation department got involved. And upon investigation, they arrested a butcher living in Mumbai. His name was Jihad Havaldar, and he was an illegal Bangladeshi immigrant. So, Jihad Havaldar confessed his crime and admitted that he was the one who murdered Mr. Azim Anar, and he was actually paid 5 crore rupees to do that. Upon further investigation, it was also found that there was also a woman who was involved in this case. So, this young woman, whose name is Shilasti Rahman, actually lured Mr. Azim Anar to meet her at an apartment. And in this apartment, Jihad Havaldar was already waiting for Mr. Anar to show up. And upon his arrival, Mr. Anar was brutally murdered. His body was chopped into pieces and his body parts were disposed. Now, at the time of recording this video, the CID, Crime Investigation Department, they've not been able to retrieve all the body parts, but Jihad Havaldar has been taken into custody. And not only that, Shilasti Rahman has also been detained by the Dhaka police, along with 2 other suspects in this case. Now, it is believed that this apartment in Newtown, Kolkata, where Mr. Anar was murdered, was actually rented, and the tenant was a man named Akhtar Usman. Now, Akhtar Usman is believed to be a Bangladeshi American citizen. He is suspected to be the mastermind who conspired this murder. While the reason behind Mr. Anar's murder is unclear, it is believed that Mr. Anar and Akhtar Usman, they were actually childhood friends and they were involved in a gold business. Now, even though the reason is still unclear, but it is believed that they had some disputes around money involved in their business. And the woman Shilasti Rahman, who lured Mr. Anar into the apartment, is believed to be the girlfriend of Akhtar Usman. Now, these are the details that have surfaced at the time of recording this video. And it is possible that some of these details may be changed, some details may be added, but this is what has happened at the time of recording this video. And I hope that this case gets solved as soon as possible and Mr. Anar gets the justice that he deserves. Now, this particular issue points out at a bigger problem that India is facing, which is illegal immigration, specifically from Bangladesh. The butcher that was hired to murder Mr. Anar was an illegal Bangladeshi immigrant. Now, who is an illegal immigrant? Any person who travels to any other country without legal documents, without any formal documentation, is considered to be an illegal immigrant. In addition, anyone who enters the border of any other country without following their immigration policies is an illegal immigrant. And in many cases, many of these illegal immigrants are actually criminals, or they are potential criminals. And well, if you're migrating to a country illegally, that in itself is a crime. In many cases, Bangladeshi immigrants, they cross borders illegally without any formal documentation, and they cross borders via land as well as sea. So there are multiple routes of them entering into the country without having any formal documentation and without actually following any immigration policies of the country. And in some of the cases, the government in itself, it fails to keep an eye on who is entering the country. And in some other cases, the government also deliberately allows for illegal immigration into the country. Current example of the same is what is happening in the US. Many people are migrating to the US via their southern border illegally, and this happens all over the world. And one of the major reasons as to why the government deliberately attempts to bring illegal immigrants into the country is that their vote bank will increase. But what is the issue with illegal immigrants? What do these illegal immigrants do in a country? Well, first, many of them use fake credentials to actually get a job in the country or to get a passport specifically in this example, an Indian passport, or to even fake their identities to make themselves look Indian. So this is what they do to fake their identities in the country. Now, while there is not any significant data which proves as to how many illegal immigrants are residing in India at this point of time, there have been speculations by governments over time. In 2004, the Indian Minister of State for Home Affairs reported that there were about 12 million illegal Bangladeshi immigrants residing in the country. And in 2016, the then Indian Minister of State for Home Affairs, Kiran Rijiju, reported that there were 20 million illegal Bangladeshis in the country. Now, both of these claims did not have any legitimate backing. There were no relevant sources to back these claims. Regardless of how many illegal immigrants are living in India, it is still a significant number that could potentially threaten India's security. In 2022, the center actually issued an alert regarding illegal Bangladeshi immigrants in the country who were faking credentials to get jobs as well as Indian passports. And in 2023, the Supreme Court had actually asked the central government to present the data on the inflow of illegal immigrants, specifically from Bangladesh, into the country. And to this, the central government told the Supreme Court that it was impossible for them to actually present the data of illegal immigrants living in India because they enter our country secretly without any travel documents. And the whole process of detection and deportation is actually complicated. Recently, Salman Fazlur Rahman, who is the advisor to the Bangladeshi PM Sheikh Hasina, brought this particular issue up, but he said that these Bangladeshi immigrants, illegal immigrants, were actually economic refugees who were traveling to India for better work opportunities. And once their economic conditions were improved, they would return back to their country. Now, even if we assume that this particular statement is true, that Bangladeshi illegal immigrants, they're traveling to India for work opportunities, for bettering their economic conditions, it still is a national threat to our country. It still compromises India's security. Because first, the country would not know the intent of everyone who is traveling to India illegally. And second, it would put both legal and illegal immigrants under the same radar, under the same lens, and that would largely put them in a negative light. And another point that I want to emphasize on is that many times what happens is that many people think that why would people want to migrate from Bangladesh to India when Bangladesh's GDP per capita is higher than that of India's? Well, that is true. But if anyone is not finding work in Bangladesh, for example, let's say if anyone who is unemployed in Bangladesh, that GDP per capita is not benefiting them. They're not able to make any sort of money in their country. So that is why they look elsewhere. That is why they're migrating to India for better work opportunities. But it is also a fact that not everyone is migrating to India for work opportunities. There are many elements who want to disrupt the law and order of this country, who want to disrupt peace and harmony in this country. Now, anyone who is looking to travel to India for work opportunities, for better financial opportunities, they can do that by legally applying to come to India, doing that via a legal process. Because if someone wants to come to India for better work opportunities, they would be in a better position if they do that legally. And if their application is accepted, they would be welcomed in our country. Now, illegal immigration not only puts the country at risk, but it also creates problems for migrants who want to travel to India for better work opportunities. And on top of that, it also puts a strain on the relationship between the two countries involved. In this particular case, India and Bangladesh. And a reasonable solution to tackle this particular problem is that both India and Bangladesh, they sit together, they have an open dialogue on this particular issue. And Bangladesh should understand the concerns that India has. And once that discussion actually happens, that would put both the countries at ease. And let's say if a person living in Bangladesh does not have any formal documents of their identity, Bangladesh should then provide them with formal documents which could then be used to apply to India legally. Doing that would solve a lot of problems for both the countries. If the two countries do not have an open dialogue on this particular issue, it is going to create much bigger problems for both these countries. With that being said, let me know what you think in the comments below. If you found this video valuable, please share this video with your friends and family. Thank you for watching this video and have a great day.